Hello and welcome. Today we are back with another one of the MGA Miniverse Honeydukes Harry Potter capsules. First off, I want to say we've been doing a few of these, and I talked about how Walmart and Target are not selling the lights for you to be able to do these with. So you have to have the UV light in order to cure your resin. If you've not done these, you may not know. If you do these, you understand. But you have to have a light, whether it's the UV flashlight or some kind of UV light to cure these. I said in the video the other day that Walmart and Target don't carry like the MGA flashlights. If they do, they don't at any of our local ones. I've never seen them. I've even went online and tried to find a UV light in store and nothing comes up. So none of the ones that we've been to carry those lights. I went online and was able to find this little UV light. I ended up finding these on Temu, and I ordered several of them in, and they were like $2 or $3 or something. These do work. If you're looking for a light for the resin, these do work. This is the Sun brand, Sun Mini, and it's the UV LED light. Also, these are not real tall, and your potion bottles, if you're using them for that, are probably going to be taller. So what I recommend is getting a couple of books and just put a couple of books out. So just for instance, I just grabbed a couple of my Harry Potter books here. So just take them and kind of lay them like this. This will be left for your potion to go into. So just say this is the potion bottle you're trying to cure. So just put it right there in between the books. And then put your light like this. And so then you will have room, more room underneath there to cure your potion. So because this one is touching the light. I mean, right there. So you definitely don't want it touching the light. You want it to be below it. So something like that would definitely work. So if you're looking for the UV light, then if you're having trouble finding them or finding one that works, these do work. But I just wanted to put that out there because I know other people were saying you have to utilize the sun, and this is the time of year that we don't really have much sun, and so it's taking a lot longer to cure and things like that. I get it. Totally get it. Yeah, I know. So anyway, back to the Miniverse. So we're just going to pick a ball and get started. So we're just going to do this one. Hopefully it's not a duplicate. I've been trying not to spoil myself on any of the actual balls, so I don't know. I have not watched videos or hardly anything about them because I like to be surprised. Sometimes that kind of bites me because sometimes they're hard, and I wish I had seen someone else do them before I attempted it. So yeah, that can be good, but it can also be bad. Watching someone else do it in advance sometimes is a lot easier. Again, with these pull tabs, I have the worst luck with them. What have we gotten ever, like on these? Maybe 2 total that actually worked. Yeah. I'm even trying to pull it loose with like push it off there with my nails, and it's on there so tight that it doesn't even want to allow me to do that part. Okay, so this is not showing me anything. So we're going to, it's just, if you look inside it, you can just see everything's all closed up. So let's keep going with the next little pull tab, which guess what? Still isn't working. Does anybody else have this kind of issue with pull tabs, or is it just me? Gracious. Okay. So if you've not been watching the videos, we have now done 3 of these. So we still have, this is going to be 4, and then we've got 2 more. So we'll have 6 total so far. So this is what they look like when you get them. The little capsules, I think, are the cutest so far. So I adore these little things. The other ones that we got, the potions, I utilize those capsules, and I've done DIY videos on them of where I use them for dry ingredients, and I have them on my herbology shelf. But I just love those. And these, what I love about them is we're doing Honeydukes, and this is actually turning into a candy container. And so what they want you to do is to use this piece, put it here to display your item that you make. I'm not going to do that. Why do what they want us to do when we can have these cute little candy containers? And I'm going to use these for desks and like in the kitchen and the dining room areas. And I'm probably going to end up doing some DIYs for my Honeydukes shelf, because if we can have like life-size little containers for candies, oh my goodness, like I just love these. So yeah, maybe we'll have some DIYs coming up with that. So we're going to get into what we have here. We get little bags and this little wrapper right here. And so we're going to just unwrap this one. And it's the same color as the other Honeydukes stuff that we have had. So it's this cute little, it's like a little cake stand. So I'm not sure yet. I keep these little wrapper things because you can use these for like scrapbooks or DIY type things. So I do keep these. I don't keep these because I tear them to open them. And so I just don't keep them. So yeah, we've got these 3 packages. So let's open this one and see what it is. Tweezers. And I think that's the only thing in this one this time. Sometimes there's more than one item, so just be real careful and make sure that you get everything out of it. Okay. I'm trying not to spoil myself on what it is. Okay, let's try this one next. I think this is the one that the resin usually comes in. So, and surprise, surprise, I don't think ours actually opened this time. This just, oh, it says liquid ice. Okay. I think I know which one this might be. Liquid ice. These are so cute. Oh, and this one has another piece in here as well. Oh, it's a little top. So it looks like you can take this top off and have a little squirt top. I think I know which one we have. If you think you might know what it is, you can leave a comment before we move on if you would like. Which one do you think it is? I'm going to give you a second before I open this because I have a feeling, I mean, that's definitely going to tell us what it is. So in case you're wanting to comment on this one, I'll go ahead and show you this. This is the little guidebook that tells you if you've never done these before, you need to check it out. It tells you how to put your container together and like not to eat anything and that these aren't food and to be careful and like all your little warnings and everything, and then on how to do certain things. So this is definitely something that you'll want to use if you've never done it before. So I highly recommend reading it if you haven't. And then I'll go ahead and show you this. So this is the little guide that comes with it. It tells you that there are 15 to collect. These are the ones you can get. Chocolate frogs, exploding bonbons, Birdie Bots every flavor bean, jelly slugs, the cauldron cakes, sugar quills, ice mice, fizzing whizbees, sugaring skulls, jelly snakes, licorice snaps, and candy skeletons. So, and these are the ones that are, we don't know what they are yet in theory. This to me looks like it's going to be pumpkin juice, just because I've had a pumpkin juice. I actually have one on my shelves, and that's what the bottle looks like to me. It looks like pumpkin juice and then 2 cups. This looks like it's going to be the Honeydukes lollipop stand, and then it's going to have lollipops on it. I have no idea what this is. I've been to Honeydukes, and I, for the life of me, cannot figure out what this one's going to be. So if you think you know what it is, or you do know what it is, leave us a comment and let us know, because I'm very curious. So, okay. So if you've left your comment, now we're going to actually figure out what it is, because this is going to have to tell us. Oh my goodness. This is a little candy mold. It says Honeydukes on it. It's a candy mold. It's made out of like silicone. It feels like silicone, however you want to say that. But it feels like silicone. And then this is one of those little candy bags, like what you can get. This says Honeydukes on it. Oh my goodness, they're so tiny. These come with a top on them, the little thing on them, but they are sealed when they come in. I'm not real sure why they seal them, because I just end up cutting it. But I've gotten to where I keep these little bags, and I put some of the things back in it that we made. Like, it looks like it's ready to go for the person who purchased them. Oh my goodness. They're the little ice mice. Oh, they're so tiny. Oh my gracious. And there's so many of them. I had no idea we would get that many. We've got 10. Well, we actually have room for 6. So we could do 2 things of them, but even though there's 6 little spots in this one. So you'll do 6 and then you'll be able to do 4 more after the initial one. Oh my goodness. And then, like I said, I keep these and I'll put some on here, but then you can, if you don't like the way they look, all 10 of them together, you can put some back in here and put the top on it, and we'll do that when we get done. But oh my goodness gracious. We got the ice mice. These are all the items you should have in your capsule, so make sure you get everything out of there before you dispose of anything. And then this shows us how to make them. I think this one is going to be so much fun. Some of them give me anxiety to try to do because it's like everything seems so small and so hard to do. Okay, so we're going to take this off and set it aside. And then we're going to just put this little bag and little tag over there. I'll put this right there because I don't need it yet. And we've got our little tongs and our little tray. And if yours is bent a little bit and it's not really wanting to set level, just kind of push it in towards itself or whatever to kind of level it out. Okay, so now we're going to open this, and I'm super excited that this was not spilled. If you've been watching this series, you know how things have been going. So we've got our little liquid ice, and on the back it says do not eat it, so don't eat it. I took the top off and I put the little squirt top on the top of it. So now it says to just put a little bit of this in here. So we're going to just put a little bit in there like it said to do. Basically, you're just kind of coating the bottom of each one of these little things, of each one of these little trays. So we're just going to barely put some in there. And I don't mean just like barely, like you got to have some to cover the bottom. So a few nice drops anyway. Okay, now I'm just kind of taking the tip and just kind of pushing it around in here just to kind of balance it onto the bottom. And you don't want too much because your mice have to fit inside of the ice. But you definitely want to make sure that the bottom is covered. Look at the side of it and you can see if they are covered or not. See, I can see this one has some little spots that it still needs the resin. Don't go up too high because you got to make sure that your mice will still fit inside of the little molds. So now it says that we're going to put this under the UV for 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, so I ended up leaving this for 10 minutes under the UV light. Now we're going to add our little mice right to the center of our ice cubes. So we're just going to put it in there and just kind of push it down. Okay, so I have each of my little mice right in the middle. And so now we are going to take this resin and we're going to coat them. So you definitely want to make sure you go all the way around each one to fill in those gaps. And I just went around it. I'm not going over the top of them until after I see how the resin lays in there. If it is more than it needs, it'll just settle over the top of it. But I definitely want to go around the edges of mine. So I'm going around all 4 sides. Before I go through and cure this resin, I definitely want to make sure that each one of my ice cubes doesn't have resin going over the top, because I want them to sit fairly flat when I get through. So any resin that's going over the top, I'm just kind of scraping. And I got this little spoon from one of the other ones that we did, so that didn't come with it, but I'm thinking it should have. think I have them mostly covered. I can see some little spots in there that looks like the mouse isn't covered completely. So I'm just barely going to touch the top of the back with a little dot of resin. Just to see if we can fill that gap. Now I'm taking them and just kind of lightly tapping them on the desk to try to remove some of the air bubbles. I'm just taking the little tray and just tapping it, just kind of lightly dropping it, kind of like you would do a baking pan if you're trying to bake a cake. You want to just kind of lightly drop it to remove some of your air bubbles. This is a good reason why you should keep the little spoons and tweezers and all that stuff that you get with these, because you just never know when you might need them. And then I see a few little air bubbles, and I'm just kind of popping them with the tip of this little spoon. Then I'll go through and tap it one more time. Okay, so that is what they look like right now. You can see on the sides of them, it's really cute. You can see the mice in there, but it's not cured. So I'm going to just go ahead and put it in under the UV light for right now. So it says now that we are going to let that set for 5 to 10 minutes. And then it wants you to turn the tray over and let it set for 5 or 10 minutes again upside down. What I'm going to say is, if you let that set for 5 minutes and you flip it upside down and it's not completely done, but you think it is, it could come out and make a mess. So I would give it 10 to 15 minutes just to be safe. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give it 15 minutes. So we ended up letting this set upright underneath the light for 15 minutes. Then the instructions were to turn it upside down and let it set this way for another 5 to 10 minutes. We ended up doing 15 on both sides just because we're using this light that we're not used to using. I want to make sure that it was completely hardened, but that was definitely plenty of time, it seems. So I have not found that any of these actually harden in the 5 to 10 minutes of UV. I just don't think that I have had a hard enough UV light, even using the sunlight in the windowsills, to be able to do it in the 5 to 10 minutes. So now it says that we're going to push each one of these out. So I'm just going to push from the back each one of these little ice cubes. Oh, oh my goodness. Oh, okay. So I feel like we have to, I feel like maybe we should have done our moss upside down, because if we had, then we would have a perfect little ice cube. Yeah, so, trial and error here. So if you do these, you might want to put your moss in upside down to where you have a perfect looking little ice cube, because your bottoms are definitely flatter and cooler looking to me, more perfect looking than these are. Oh my goodness, though, you guys, these are so cute. I am loving this one. Okay, I thought the one yesterday was going to be my favorite, but now I'm not so sure that these aren't. They just keep getting better and better each time. Oh my goodness. I do think on these last 4, though, that I may do these upside down. So we have it, looks like, according to the sides and the top, it looks like everything has a little more in it this time. So, okay, so we have let these sit for 15 minutes. So we let these sit for a few minutes, and now we're going to take our tweezers, put these in here. Now, I'm debating whether or not I want to do these upside down this time. I think I may. I think I may put my mice in here upside down. Then I'll have some that are one direction and some that go the other. Now what's going to happen on these is the tops will be completely flat and the bottoms will be a little bit not flat, so they can be a little bit ridged. Yeah, definitely need to use the tweezers with these. Tried using my fingers, and now what I'm finding is they don't really want to go in there upside down. They want to flip over. So trying to get them to stay in there this way could be a challenge. You know, flipped over on its own. Okay. So now we have the mice in here, and I put these upside down. We're going to see what these end up looking like. So now we're going to take the rest of the liquid ice, and we are going to go around all 4 sides of these again. Hopefully there is enough resin left to do for, I mean, I'm sure it's enough. They tend to do these with just enough or extra. I think we've had like, what, 2 potions that we used all of the resin. The other ones still had extra left in the cauldron. Okay. Yes, we seem to have plenty in here, of course. Okay, so like I did a while ago, I'm going to set this down on the desk and tap it to where I can get those air bubbles out. Just going over the top of the actual mice this time. So I'm tapping, just barely dropping it to try to get as many of those air bubbles to come up to the top. And then again, I'm going to use this little spoon to just touch those little air bubbles. Get as much of that air out as I can. Okay, so now we're going to put these under the light for 10 minutes. So again, I'm going to do 15, and then we'll flip it for another 15, and then we will be back. So now we have these done for the second time. So I was looking at the instruction sheet, and it actually looks like it doesn't really intend for you to do these last 4 in ice, but just to do a little display with these and then set these out not in cubes. But I mean, they're yours. You do it however you want to do it. I'm not really sure if I would prefer them to not be cubed as much as I would prefer them to be cubed. So again, it's yours. You do it however you want to do it. I think they're cute in cubes, so I'm not sure that I would want them to not be cubed. But like I said, the instructions seem to show these last 4 just kind of randomly sitting on the table, not in cubes. Now this last one I did, and I only did it for a few minutes versus the other ones. And it does feel like these are not quite as completely done in the resin. So I can see a little bit of it is not as clear. So I do think it really probably needed a few more minutes, but it's fine. For the sake of the video, it's fine. But yeah, so these are our ice mice. I think they turned out really cute. This one and the sugaring skulls are probably my favorite ones out of the ones we've done so far. They are cute. They are not as difficult to do as some of the other ones have been. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's real cute. So yeah, and I just keep these pieces and I just put it all back together, and then I just hang on to them. I just put them on my shelves, so you can do, you know, whatever you want to with it. But I just think it's so cute to have this kind of stuff, and I'm really hoping that they give us a Honeydukes like they gave us the classroom, because I think that would be so cute. So, and then if you keep these little pieces, you can put some in here if you want to, just like if you're packaging them up for a customer. These are our ice mice. Did you make these? How did you do yours? Did you like doing these? Is this something that maybe you're looking for or haven't done yet? Leave a comment and let us know. And with that being said, have a wonderful day. And remember, we love you.